All right, it's 5 o'clock, Thursday, October 4th, 2018. This is Lake Mills Police and Fire Commission meeting, special meeting in the City Council chambers. Call the meeting to order. We'll take a roll call. Show all commissioners here except for Commissioner Dean. Sanders. Go on to item number 3, convene into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin State Statute 19.851C for the purpose of considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility. Is there a motion to move into closed session?
I'll make it.
I'll second it.
And second, roll call, Beverly.
Yes, aye.
Jerry.
Aye.
Adam.
Aye.
Russ, aye. We're now officially in the closed session.
I like that.
All right, is there a motion to reconvene in open
I'll make the
session?
motion.
I'll second it.
Beverly,
Yeah, aye.
Terry,
Aye.
Adam,
Aye.
Russ, aye. We're back in open session. At 5:19. Okay, let's find our next agenda here item. Number 5 on the agenda is confirmation of Michael Mick, T. Selck, as Chief of Police for the City of Lake Mills. Is there a motion? I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Terry will second it. All in favor? Beverly?
Aye.
Terry?
Aye.
Adam?
Aye.
Russ? Aye. Congratulations, Mick.
Thank you, Russ. Thank you, everyone.
Let's go on to the next item. Discussion decision on hiring full-time and part-time police officers, or timeline and job announcement. Nick, do you want to give us a brief?
That would be Chief Selck.
Chief Selck, please, would you like to just sort of bring us up to date on what your thoughts are and where do you want to take this and et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, I handed out a tentative timeline. Basically, the advertisement's already commenced, and we've got a couple applications in already. By the 19th, we hope to be able to have everything will be in by then. We'll review those hopefully on the 22nd, and then within 2 weeks, we would like to do the testing, both the physical agility test and the written test, and then the following Monday, Tuesday, interview the top candidates, and then the narrow it down to about 3 or so, depending on their, how good they are, and interview them the following Friday, and then I believe the following Wednesday, which I think is the 15th, they would come before you guys. It's a really accelerated, kind of aggressive timeline, but at the recent Chiefs meeting, there's been everybody's talking about how we're all fighting over the same group of people.
Right.
And, I'm just trying to get them as quick as I can. We did add some wording talking about lateral transfers, and that, we're seeking people who have experience if we can get them. I believe in the contract negotiations, there are going to be discussions about allowing even vacation to be enhanced when they come on board. If they're leaving a city that they have 3 weeks at, we would try to do something to help them instead of starting out with 1 week. So we're trying to be aggressive to broaden our ability to pull people in.
Well, I told him in closed session, I'm going to be gone on a trip I leave November 9th, Friday, and I get back the 26th on Monday.
Okay.
But I'll be out of the country.
Trying to picture the timeline in my head. I think the 9th I have listed as an interview with
The top 3 to 5.
top, if I need to move that up a couple days, I might be able to do that.
Or shorten it up between the 22nd and November 5th.
The 22nd of October and November 5th.
Yeah, and the reason I had 2 weeks in there is that we don't know how many tests to order until we have decided how many applicants we're going to do, and there's a little bit of a turnaround. However, I do know that although the tests are kind of expensive, you are allowed to return if you have too many, and I could order those in advance very easily, move that up a week, and then we just return the overage. We'll just order too many on purpose. Does that work for everyone?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Is there a date you had in mind? Did you guys discuss a date that would work for everyone
No.
if you moved it up before your trip?
Do you want to?
That's the only thing I have going. Anybody else going anything or?
The Wednesday of that week, would that be what, the 7th?
Yeah.
Wednesday's okay.
If I accelerated the timeline that way? Excellent, okay, I'll make a note of that. So then after your interview, hopefully I'd have, a couple of your top picks by the next morning. I'd reach out right away to make a contingent job offer and check on their background, physical agility, and a psych exam, which I would try to pre-schedule the psych exam because he fills up pretty fast. Try to get a date set out for that, and then as soon as that's done, we go right into the job offer and set up a start date sometime in December to get them going.
So basically, I guess I'm looking at the calendar, so obviously we're not going to make a regular PFC meeting that week with a confirmation, so you're looking at December for that, if everything.
That's a good point.
But you could have it without me.
No, I'm
The
just,
decisions are already made.
according, the first Thursday is the first,
Yeah.
so the 15th would be our regular meeting night, so basically,
I
that
won't
would
be here, but then
give you
I'll be
1
here.
week, which I know is probably not going to happen
Right.
to
Right.
make that happen, but I guess if it comes down to it,
We could figure out a
we
special
could
meeting
figure,
time.
yeah, okay,
Is that all right with everyone?
yeah.
So that's the basic timeline for the full-time officer. The part-timers, usually, we won't hire anybody without job experience. However, those that we find who are retiring from law enforcement are choosing not to work afterwards. So our options are getting a little limited, and we might have to spend more time training someone. But we do look for people with experience, and we don't go through the full testing process as we do with a full-time officer, usually because they're already working somewhere. And so right after the applications are in, we'll take a look at those that are only interested in part-time and schedule them for a one-on-one, maybe myself and the sergeant, to meet with them and just verify their credentials and see if they're a good fit, and then move ahead with the psych, the drug screen, and the background right away. And we do backgrounds even if they are employed, just so you know. And then if that goes well, then we'll set up a start date and get them into the first PFC meeting we can to meet you guys.
How many part-time police officers do we have now?
That's an interesting question because we had one resign about a month ago. He was not filling many hours, and the department he works for has a lot of overtime, so he just was not. We have a officer who has been on a leave of absence, I guess, because he got hired in a full-time agency in West Milwaukee, and they won't let him work while he's on probation. So he's got a 1-year probation. He had told me at the time that he would come back afterwards. I ran into his lieutenant at a conference who said they have so much overtime and so many shifts to fill down there that it's just probably not going to happen. He'll be making about $40 an hour overtime there, and it's $18.72 for part-time pay here. So I don't expect him to be back. And then we have Mike Zanoni. He has been our workhorse. He's been filling in. We can call him last minute. He can be here sometimes in less than 15 minutes. He's getting up there. He's a retired sheriff's deputy with in excess of 30 years when he retired from them, and he's already got probably four 4 or 5 years in with us. I do not know how much longer he's going to keep going. And then we have a part-timer with the Capitol Police who is also in the same situation with overtime and such, where he's not available. He's got a lot of small children, and he's only filled a couple of shifts so far this year, and we're in October already. So I'm hoping that we get a good draw and we can pull a few people in, but most of the time, people with full-time jobs, especially now that a lot of places are running short, it's really hard.
Lots of overtime available every place.
Yeah, yep. So it's going to be a struggle.
Okay.
So I guess to answer your question, I would say one regular full-time person, and then a guy that we check in with every once in a while, but he does not fill many shifts.
Yeah. It's too bad.
Anything else? All right. All right, so we have adjusted our timeline, and then it comes to the final, we'll work with that.
So I'll make a couple changes, and do I send it out to you, Russ, and then you distribute it out from there, or how would you like that
Yeah,
done?
between Russ and myself.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, sounds good. That takes care of our agenda for tonight. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make it.
By Beverly, seconded.
I'll second it.
Second by Terry, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
Nice job.